Let's talk about the aim constraint in Maya. The concept of the aim constraint in Maya and in all of 3D is very important, like things we'll encounter later in rigging, for example joint orientation. That's really just a variation of an aim constraint, or the rotate plane IK in an IK setup. Its concept is actually the same as an aim constraint. A lot of the more complex techniques later on in rigging are actually built on the aim constraint concept. Also, aim constraints are used heavily in things like mechanical rigging. So even though the aim constraint itself is very basic, it holds a very important place in all of rigging. So we're going to spend some time here and try our best to explain the aim constraint clearly. Hopefully, we can all get a deeper understanding of the aim constraint. So first, what is an aim constraint? An aim constraint, to put it simply, is a constraint that makes the driven object always point towards the driver object by rotating. So let's just make a simple one first. Here we'll select our driver object, select our driven object, then constrain, and find our aim constraint. I've set everything back to the default settings here. We'll just use the default settings to make it. So now we can see my driven object, its x-axis is now pointing at the driver. No matter how I move the driver object, my driven's x-axis is always pointing at this object we selected. This behavior is the aim constraint.